Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Well, today it's going to be 79 degrees, and I checked it out outside and it was just starting to sprinkle, and I hope we do get a little bit of rain. Then I don't have to water, and that always makes me happy. So I'm thinking about having a staycation day today. It won't be a pajama day because I do want to go outside at some point, but I don't know. I'll give it a go. It's not my thing to sit around and watch TV all day, watch movies and all that, but I'm going to find some low-key things to do because I do like to keep busy. Not that I can't relax. I can sit in a chair and stare off into space, but I don't want to do that all day long. That would be too boring. So I'll try and do low-key things, maybe throw in a load of wash, clean up a little bit in the kitchen, just meander my way through the day. Have an extra cup of coffee, maybe read a book. I have a garden book that I've been looking at that's interesting. I have a lot of garden books that I can read. I like to read things that are educational as compared to novels, fiction novels. I used to like to read the Gothic romances. Oh my, those were good. But the days of Gothic romances have sailed over the horizon. They don't interest me anymore. So, but I do like to read my cookbooks and my gardening books and just things like that. I find that interesting. Maybe I'll write in my journal. I haven't done that in a while. And then I did start to read the Bible, so maybe I'll do a little bit of that. I don't know. I'll see where the day goes. It probably won't make for a very interesting video today, but it is what it is. So you guys can relax with me, I guess. So I'm having the rise coffee again, and then I do put in my my fiber powder too. I figure I'll get it all over with in one fell swoop. And then I'm going to have this English Toffee International Delight creamer. There we go. So it's a very pleasant morning out there, and I noticed that my robin that built its nest on my deck, much to my dismay, the babies have hatched. I saw a little tiny head peeking up yesterday, and I have to be very careful when I let the dogs out now because the dogs will go after the baby birds, which is very disturbing to me. Cheers. I may just go outside and sit and drink my coffee if it's not raining, but like I said, it was sprinkling. So it probably got everything wet, so maybe that's not a good idea. Well, anyway, I am still going to do my budget book today, even though I'm on staycation. That's something pretty low-key. And I'll see what else I can come up with. I'm going to come up with, really easy meal. I don't feel like cooking. And call that good. All right, I will meet you over there at the budget book. The first thing I'm doing this morning is making a to-do list for my handyman when he comes back. It's not a horrendously long list, but it's things that I either don't know how to fix or I can't fix. So it's hard to pin him down to a time sometimes because he's always so busy. He has his little side business and he fixes cars. He's kind of like an all-around can do most things guide. So that's what I'm doing this morning, trying to keep it on the low key, which is sometimes a little difficult for me. I like to keep busy, so I have a list for myself too, which of course involves the garden, and there's a bunch of little low-key things on there that I can do that doesn't involve a whole lot of muscle, because my muscles have taken a trip somewhere else. So I really should see what kind of a program I can get into to help build up some strength. I know it's possible, but it's maybe I should get a personal trainer to work with me. But I hate going to gyms. You know, I don't mind doing some exercising at home or going for a walk, but I don't think I would go. I really don't. I'd go a couple times and then it's like, oh, it's too much bother, and I wouldn't bother going. So, I don't know. We'll see. So I bonked myself on the nose with a short little trellis I had in my tomato big huge container, and they're too heavy for me to list, so I just slid it off the bench it was on, and it just kind of bonked me in the nose. So now between having my brown spots on my nose, now I've got some red spots on my nose too. Not the most attractive. I was thinking today about going to Mark's and buying 5 solar lights. They're not very expensive. They're a couple dollars. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I have an old chandelier for outside, and at one point it was battery operated, and right now I have a bunch of wind chimes hanging off of it. And I thought it would look nice if I took the solar lights, took the stakes off, and just kind of glued them on top. That way I'd have a little more lighting out there that wouldn't attract mosquitoes and bugs during the evening. So I'm thinking about going to Mark's and maybe picking up 5 solar lights. I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to spend the whole day roaming around in the store, but I know they have them, so I'll have to see. Sometimes when you take a day off and you sit there and you look around and your brain is still going, oh, you can get up and do this, or you can get up and do that. So when you've got a to-do list and you're sitting in the room that, you have a lot of things to do, sometimes that's not the best place to relax. So it's probably a good idea to just go somewhere where it's very relaxing, and maybe just hang out there where you don't see all those things that need to be done. At least that's what I think. How do you guys, what's the best way that you can relax? Let us know in the comments below. I don't have a hard time relaxing most of the time. I can do that. But, sometimes your brain still keeps working the plan, even though you don't want to. That's why I think sometimes just watching some mindless TV shows is helpful. But I can't do that for very long periods of time. The longest I can do a lot of TV watching is maybe a day, but that's rare. Usually that's when I'm sick. And it's not like I've got a ton of energy either. I don't. I run out of fuel very quickly, and then I have to go, recuperate a little bit, and then I can start up again. So I'm definitely not a workaholic. I never have been. I did what I had to do and put in the time, and now it's like, okay, been there, done that, and I'm done. I don't need to do those things anymore. Memorial Day weekend, and I know a lot of people have picnics and cookouts, and they have an extra day off. So we all need to be thankful to our veterans, who, especially those who lost their lives protecting our freedom. That's important. And I know a lot of you have loved ones that maybe were lost during the course of a war. So remembering our veterans, putting out a flag, and showing our patriotism, I think, is a good thing to do. I'm going to take a look at my budget book and see what's what. I don't have any receipts that I need to log in because I already did all of that, and I'm totaling it up as I go. And I do need to cut back on the spending. It's getting up there, but I'm still debt-free, which is what my goal is. So anyway, let's take a look at the budget book. Okay, back at the budget book. Yesterday I didn't spend any money, so that's a good thing. And during this transitional period, which it is for me, I'm transitioning to downsizing, and I know it doesn't make any sense to buy more things, but sometimes in order to get things organized the way you want, the things that you want to keep, sometimes it requires you to buy some other things, some new things. At least that's what I'm finding to be true. So those things that I want to keep, I want to make sure that they're organized and that I can find them easily. Because what happens is when you have a lot of stuff, which I do, and it's not all organized, most of my things are pretty well organized, although since I'm in this transitional period, I've pulled a lot of things out that I don't quite know where I want to store them. So in order to do that, I do have to spend a little. I don't want to just use cardboard boxes where I have no idea what's in them. So I may have to spend a little bit more money. Like I need to get a couple of steel racks for the basement food storage. I do need to do that. As far as my garden goes, I need to figure out a watering system, which will make my life easier, but I may have to spend some money on that. I have some things in the garage that I want to use, but in the meantime, I have to supplement maybe to get it to work the way I want it to work. So sometimes downsizing does require you to spend a little bit more money. I mean, even in as far as spending goes, I'm trying to mainly do online shopping or curbside shopping, because then I don't tend to look around and buy more stuff that I don't need. So that's one way that I keep a handle on my spending. But like I said, in order to get things set up for future me, sometimes it requires me to spend a little bit more money. So at least that's what I'm finding is going on with my downsizing. So I've gotten rid of a lot of things, and I will get rid of a lot more things, but it takes time. I don't want to just willy-nilly throw everything out. I mean, that would be an easy way to go. Just don't think about it and get rid of it. But I can't do things that way. I have to be mindful, because sometimes when you go through a period in your life where you don't have money, you become a little bit more mindful of things that you already have, because at least in my case, I don't want to have to buy it new again. But on the other hand, I don't want to create a whole lot more work down the road. I'm going to do the work now when I still can, so that in the future, when I can't do the work anymore, I'll have it all set up the way I want it. Anyway, that's the way I'm going about it. And I've been through several times in my life where I didn't have a lot of money. And it now is one of those times. You know, I don't have a ton of money coming in, so I have to be very mindful of what I can maybe what I need in the future and what I can buy. And especially with all the repairs that I've had lately, most of my money is going to that. So that makes me extra careful about the things that I'm planning to get rid of. But I don't want to maintain all this stuff anymore either. You know, like with the garden, I'm trying to simplify it to the point where that I can continue to garden. In my garage, I've gotten rid of some of my power tools. I don't need all the tools that I have out there, so I'll probably donate a lot of that stuff. Even the garden things that I have in the garage, I need to get rid of a lot of the things. I bought a weed whacker that's going to be easier for me to use instead of the corded one. So sometimes that just requires you to spend a little more money so that you can actually save money in the future and not have to redo everything all the time. Anyway, that's what I find to be true. And so I'm going to continue to downsize the garden and get it set up for future me, for the way I can still garden. And it's getting there. You know, I had the setback. That was a big setback where everything fell over. But hopefully I got that problem solved by moving things around and by keeping things more consolidated in an area. It does make it easier to keep it watered too. So there is a method to my madness, and we'll see how it works out. So my method of downsizing definitely takes a whole lot more energy and a whole lot more time, but I'm hoping, my ultimate hope is that at the end of the process, and I'm hoping to have that done within the year, fingers crossed. I'm hoping that at the end of that process that I will have to spend very little money on anything, because everything will be set up just the way I want it. It'll be easier. I won't have so much work to do. So doing the work now while I still can do it makes sense to me. And then maybe future me won't have to work so hard. It's not that I don't want anything to do, but that's just my method and my thought process. It's like with the way the economy is, it just keeps getting worse and worse, and some of us have to tighten the belt more and more, and we can't afford this, we can't afford that. So if I already bought these things when I could afford it, when I worked, and it's something that's useful to me, I don't want to keep things that aren't useful to me any longer. Things that I know I won't use at all. But some things I feel are worth keeping, and I can always get rid of them if in a year or two it's like, well, you know, I really don't use that, I don't need it, a family member can use it, a friend can use it, you know, whatever, then I can still get rid of it. It's not like if I decide now to keep something that it's a commitment that it has to be forever. So, but the major bulk of things that I want to get rid of, I want to do that within a year. and I only want to get rid of things that I know I'm not going to use anymore. It's like the dishes that I loved. You know, I had a service for 16. Well, I don't use them anymore for, you know, I used to. But so I got rid of all but 4 place settings because I still like the dishes. And it's a lot easier to keep my curio cabinets clean now. So I did that with glassware. I did that with, you know, dishes. And eventually, who knows, I may have to use my dining area as a bedroom, in which case I'll move my day bed into there. Used to be a den, and then I turned it into a dining room when I entertained a lot. But, you know, I can turn it back into a den sleeping area eventually, which would actually be very nice for me because it's right off the patio. But that would require me to get rid of at least my dining room table. And, you know, but I'm not ready to do that yet. But it's something for me to think about in the future, because I did build this house as my retirement home. And I figured I could live on the first floor if I needed to, because my laundry is there, my bathroom is there, I have my kitchen, and like I said, my dining room I can turn back into a den sleeping area, and if need be, I could just close off the upstairs, or, you know, if my grandson desires to continue to live here with me, he can have the whole upstairs. So I have a lot of options. If I needed to, I could put a door going from the garage to my basement landing. I could put that in, and I could rent that out if I needed to for a little extra income. So I did really plan ahead when I had this house built, and I plan to age in place. At least that's my hope. My daughter, if unless they move, which I hope they don't, but she lives 2 minutes from here. My sons don't live that far. They can be here in a half an hour. But, so, and I figured if another family member ever needed to move in with me, they could live in the basement. So those are my plans, and that's what I'm working towards. So anyway, best laid plans of mice and men, right? So I'm going to go do a couple things and relax a little bit, and I'll see you in a little bit. Well, all right, my friends, it did turn out to be a pajama day for me today. I can go in my backyard in my pajamas and nobody can see me. It's very private out there. So I do go out there and wander around a little bit and enjoy what I've done out there. I've planted things and enjoy the flowers, and I can't spend too much time on my deck right now because the baby birds, their mama gets upset. This is one reason why I didn't want baby birds up there, but they're there now, so, you know, until they leave. I hope they leave before my window guy comes, because one of the windows that they have to replace is right where the baby birds are. So anyway, yeah, I just relaxed today. That's all I did, and it felt good. So tomorrow's another day, and I may take the whole weekend and have a staycation weekend. That would be nice. A couple of you suggested that I do that, and I think that's a very good idea. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.